Thank you for clicking on this video. Tonight's story is inspired by urban legends and forgotten Reddit posts, the kind that live in whispers and roadside warnings. Settle in, turn the lights down, and listen carefully. This is a story about a mirror in the woods, and how it learns your name. It starts with a drive you didn't mean to take. You left the small town later than planned, the kind of errand that was supposed to be 15 minutes and stretched into an hour and a half. You don't remember much about the place beyond the smell of wet leaves and gasoline at the station, and the way the clerk never met your eyes when you asked for directions back to the highway. The road narrows the farther you go, its edges fraying into gravel and weeds. Above you, the trees knit their branches into a lid that snuffs the moon. Your phone screen says, "No service." The radio slips from talk to static, and then to an empty hum that feels like the car is listening to you breathe. That's when you see the glint, not water, too sharp, not a sign, too tall, just a sliver of silver wedged between trunks and fog. You slow down without deciding to. Your hands turn the wheel. The tires hiss on the damp shoulder. Just a minute, you tell yourself. The promise is a lie, the way all small promises are, but it comforts you enough to step out into the cold. The forest here smells like pine sap and pennies. A narrow path opens as if a weight has rolled through and pressed the weeds flat. You follow it because it would feel stranger not to. The mist clings to your clothes, the trees lean in to listen. There, a circular clearing no wider than a cottage, so perfectly round it looks cut with a compass. And at the center of it stands a mirror. The mirror is tall enough to make you straighten your spine. Its wooden frame is choked with carved vines and leaves. Between the leaves, if you stare too long, you see faces starting to happen. The glass is not dirty, but it is cloudy the way a breath is. It pulses faintly, as if the clearing itself were breathing through it. You step closer until your face floats on the surface. You should see yourself as you are, damp hair, road-tired eyes, but the trees behind you are taller and thinner than the ones that actually circle the clearing. You raise your hand, your reflection raises theirs a heartbeat later, and then it smiles first. There is someone behind you, or behind the you in the glass. A pale figure in the off fog, thin as a birch, patient as a nail. You turn, nothing but the real trees. You look back, the figure is closer. Something touches the inner surface. 5 ovals of paler fog bloom and recede like the mirror just sighed against its own hand. You run without deciding to run. The path that led you here already knows your weight. It guides you back like a moving sidewalk. Branches scratch your arms, your face. You burst onto the shoulder, slam the door, start the car. You do not look at the rearview mirror. You keep your eyes on the black road ribboning ahead until the trees soften back into town lights, and you can breathe without tasting metal. That night you dream of the clearing. Not the trees, not the path. The mirror itself standing where your closet should be, its frame crowding your small room. In the dream you are asleep in your own bed, and the mirror shows you sleeping from an angle you cannot possibly see. There is a pale figure behind you, nearer than any dream should let. It leans down until the glass fogs with its breath. Your sleeping self does not stir. When you wake, your room is beige and ordinary. Your heart learns to slow down. You swing your legs to the floor and feel grit under your foot. Your shoes are damp at the edges. Their treads hold black soil the color of ashes. You search because it's easier than telling someone. Ashgrove Woods pulls up a page the county hasn't updated in 9 years, a warning about staying on marked trails that no one reads. Deeper, you find a forum thread archived so clumsily half the punctuation is missing. In 2008, someone with a username made of numbers typed, "If you see the mirror, don't touch it. It remembers you." A few days later in a cafe where the windows sweat with steam, you hear 2 men talk. Their hands tremble not from age but from memory. One says his cousin went to the mirror on a dare when they were kids. He came back wrong. He stopped talking, stopped eating. He would sit facing a wall for hours, refusing to look in glass. A year later he died in his sleep with his mouth open like he had been screaming for hours. The other man leans closer, glancing over his shoulder before muttering, "That mirror's been in Ashgrove longer than the town itself. Sometimes it disappears, sometimes it moves, but it always waits." You do not ask questions. You sip your coffee and leave before either man notices you listening, but their words cling to your skin like mist. That night you notice the reflection again. In the black screen of your phone, the background is not your apartment but trees. Thin, tall, impossibly dark. For a second, you see movement between them. A pale figure stepping sideways into the dark. You drop the phone, the screen cracks, and the reflection vanishes. Later, stirring tea, You glance at the curve of the spoon. It should show only your hand, your face bent above it. Instead, behind you, in the tiny curve of the metal, a pale figure stands at your shoulder, watching. You tape over mirrors. You turn picture frames toward the wall. You work by lamplight and keep your head down, but the reflections keep finding you. Windows, doorknobs, the glaze of your eyes in the bathroom sink. Each one shows the pale figure a little closer than before. Finally, you go back. The idea feels less like a decision than a demand. Your feet know the path before you do. The forest accepts you the way it accepts rain, with no surprise, only inevitability. The clearing is waiting. The mirror waits with it. The mirror's glass does not cloud this time. It ripples like liquid held vertical. Your reflection is waiting for you, already smiling. Behind it, the pale figure has grown sharper. Its edges no longer blur. Its head tilts, studying you. The reflection lifts its hand first. Its palm presses to the inside of the glass, and when you raise your own hand to refuse, the glass flexes outward like skin under pressure. Cold leaks from it, sharp as melted ice. You stumble back, but your reflection does not. It leans forward, its face flattening against the glass until the smile bends too wide. You wake in your bed. Sweat chills your body. The clock reads 3:03 a.m. Dirt streaks your sheets. The days blur. You live in the corners of your home. You avoid glass, but glass does not avoid you. In the shine of a wet street, in the lid of a pot, in the window of the microwave, always the pale figure is there. Sometimes you think you hear it whisper your name, not through your ears but inside your skull, like a thought you didn't make. That whisper grows louder. It does not ask. It does not beg. It only repeats your name until it feels like the sound is woven into your bones. You return again, because resistance is only delay. The woods are different this time. The silence is absolute. No wind, no birds, no rustle of leaves. The clearing pulls you forward like gravity. The mirror shivers. Its surface bulges outward in slow pulses like something breathing beneath it. This time, your reflection doesn't wait. It walks forward on its own, pressing both hands to the glass. The pale figure steps in behind it, its eyeless face visible now, hollow sockets, a mouth cut wide like a wound. The glass bends, then cracks. A hand pushes through. Your own hand, but colder, paler, veins like ink under skin. It curls, searching for yours. You run. But the woods fold around you. No matter which direction you take, the clearing returns. The mirror always waits ahead, patient, smiling. You shut your eyes and wish it gone. But behind your lids, you see it clearer. The reflection, the figure, the mirror, always. You think about leaving town, packing what you can, driving until the roads turn different, until the woods are someone else's problem. But deep down you know distance doesn't matter. The mirror does not live in the woods anymore. It lives in you. You test it once. You splash water over the bathroom sink. When the surface settles, you expect your face. For one moment it's there, ordinary, exhausted. But when you lean back, the reflection keeps leaning in, smiling. That night, the whispering is no longer in your head. It is in your room. It speaks not in words but in breaths, syllables stretched wrong. You rise, drawn without choice. The hallway mirror you covered is uncovered now. The blanket lies folded neatly at its base, as though someone cared enough to fold it. The reflection presses both palms against the inside. The pale figure stands just behind it, head tilted, mouth curling into an imitation of a grin. The glass stretches thin, then it splits. Cold air spills into the hallway, fingers claw at the walls, and then you see yourself step out, a version of you with eyes too dark, skin too pale, smile too wide. Behind them, the pale figure leans closer, half emerging. You run to your bedroom, slam the door, press your back to it. The air is colder now, thick with the smell of rust and wet soil. Your bedroom mirror is uncovered too. In it, you see yourself sleeping soundly in bed, which means the you standing in front of it is something else entirely. Then, silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears until you almost scream to fill it. You edge closer to the mirror despite yourself. The sleeping version of you in the reflection suddenly opens its eyes, black, empty. It sits up. It moves toward the glass, step by step until its forehead nearly touches yours. The pale figure follows just behind, towering, endless. You stumble back, but the mirror follows, the frame sliding across the wall like it's attached to your heartbeat. You wake again. The sun is out. Birds sing. Your apartment is quiet. You think maybe it's over. You think maybe you survived the night until you see your shoes by the door. The soles are caked with black soil, damp and clinging, and that's when you understand. The mirror is not in the woods anymore. The woods are in the mirror. and the mirror is everywhere. No one in town believes the stories. They say the forest is ordinary, the trail's safe, they say mirrors are just glass, but in the quiet hours, someone always wakes with dirt on their floor, and sometimes, the reflection smiles first. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share your own strange experiences in the comments. And remember, if you ever find a mirror in the woods, don't look too long, because one day, it might look back.